Hello, everyone. This is my first ever video, and I thought, what a better start than to go over one of my favorite franchises and also one of my favorite small hobbies that I do at the same time. Um, I personally collect art books, whether that be from films or TV shows or, in this instance, video games. I kind of just love getting physical versions of art, and art books are a great, relatively affordable way to do that. It definitely depends on the book or the artist that you're getting it from. A lot of them aren't made anymore, but I can ramble about that for a very long time because I have lots of experience with collecting art books. But in honor of the new Monster Hunter Wilds coming out in only a few months from this recording, I thought, why not go over this art book that I got a couple of months ago, earlier this year. It is specifically the Monster Hunter World Editor's Sketch art book. As you can see, most of this is in Japanese. I don't read Japanese, so I'm just going to hope for the best. As you can see, there are some English words. The English versions or names for these monsters. This is Kalulu Yaku. Me and I believe everyone else in the community just calls it the bird up monster. If you know what that's from, then you know. Over here, I noticed this right here, obviously, is Rathalos, by far the most iconic monster in the franchise. Right here, it actually says Liloes, if you can read that. I don't know why. It's probably just a translation thing, but I assumed it would have just been called Rathalos, regardless of where it was from, or regardless of the translation. Anyway, without further ado, I suppose, I will get into the book. Whether or not I will actually read the entire thing, not read, but go through the entire thing in this video, we will see. It's definitely not thick, but this is my first video, and I don't really know exactly what I'm doing, but I'm figuring it out as I go. And definitely enjoying it so far. As you can see, removing slipcover, which I'll just do for the sake of it being annoying to flip through with it. Here's some art on the back. I believe those rabbits, little guys, are in Monster Hunter World. They're one of the I was gonna say like NPC, but what would, like, non-huntable monsters. They're just like little guys that run around. Anyway, the art is gorgeous. I don't know if they credit each artist individually in this. I hope they do, because I want to look through them. but we will find out. I'm sorry for, I'm going to try my best not to crease it, but it may be difficult. I know that most people don't like doing that. I don't love doing it either, but I'll try my best to avoid it. Right here we have a hunter with a little palico hanging onto, I forget the name of these specifically, but these are what you ride into. They bring you to different areas in the world. Again, I can't read all that. I'm sure it's a very lovely message, though. Very cute art over here. I have looked through some of this. I kind of skimmed past it when I got it. But I did notice, you can see another right here, they put in a lot of very like cutesy art mixed in with the actually detailed artwork from Monster Hunter World, which is like definitely the most realistic of all the Monster Hunter games. There are older ones where they've always had a realistic aesthetic, but Monster Hunter World kind of took it to a new high, and it looks like the Monster Hunter Wilds is going to follow that pretty closely. I'm very, very excited for Wilds. I still personally haven't beaten Iceborne. I really want to. It's just been, it's kind of just like a matter of not getting to it yet. I beat World, but the Monster Hunter game I have the most hours in is definitely Monster Hunter Rise, which is controversial a bit, but I love that game. I know it's not like perfect, it's not the best, I like optimal, ideal Monster Hunter game, but I love it. These pages, it looks like we have a bunch of fauna, plants. These are some of the bug life from the game. Again here with the kind of like cutesy, very stylized artwork. I love this little star they put on Anjanath's eye. I don't know why they did that. It's very cute. This whole book in general is very beautiful, well put together. Here's just some like concept art for a hunter. Again here with the cutesy style artwork, and on this page obviously. I love this part. Is it like an Apanoth? I'm blanking. It's something like that. But this is one of the huntable monsters that's not aggressive. And it's very easy to kill. You kind of just do it for meat. But I love how they break it down like a cow. It's very, I don't know, this book includes a lot of like the comedy elements of Monster Hunter very well, which I appreciate. It's one of my favorite aspects of Monster Hunter, how like intense and not serious, but like even with this art right here, just like this giant amorphous, I believe that's Zora Magdaros, I assume. Um, just these like massive beasts and monsters, and then you have a talking cat running around with you, cooking meat. The games find a very good like balance of that. Here is the little rabbit guys I was talking about from the back of the book. They're very cute. I wish I could read Japanese so I can like, tell you the names. There is a different Monster Hunter World art book that isn't in Japanese, but it's also not in this like style of like a sketchbook. It's in a kind of like a more advanced concept art, later stages of concept art, like 3D models. It's also a lot bigger. I very much want that book. I just don't have it yet. But on this page, you have a paratoad. Again, I assume that's the. Oh my god, I'm gonna blank on a bunch of names in this, and it's gonna be embarrassing later on. Right here we have a Barioth. Decent monster design, I guess. I like the whole like aspect of rolling around in mud. But I think getting him back to back from World to Rise made me kinda sick of him really quick. Here we have two side characters. These are kind of like your friends, sorta, in Monster Hunter World. Some more side characters from the beginning of the game when you're on the ship going into the new world. This is definitely Zora Magdaros. Yeah. As you can see, one page can have this massive, like, I'm trying to think of the right word, like, kaiju, the way it looks right now, it's almost like horror-esque, just very opposing, scary force. And then on this side you have oh my god, I'm gonna blank. I don't even know if she has an official like specific name, but I know she has a name. Anyway, regardless, I'm drooling over a big steak. So I don't know. I love this world. I love these games a lot. Here's the new world. I very much enjoy the first Monster Hunter game I ever played was for Ultimate on the 3DS. To be fair, I wasn't smart enough as a kid to like understand and get a good grasp of like the game. But I did find it very fun. I just couldn't get very far. I had like, I don't know, 40, 50 hours in it, which for the time was a lot for me. I remember being home from school, like sick, and just spending an entire day playing it. And yeah, I have gone back to 4 Ultimate, and I do really like that game a lot. While I have issues with Rise, I think the quality of life in the movement changes throughout that game make it a lot more user friendly. It makes it very difficult to go back to older. Excuse me. It makes it very hard to go back to older Monster Hunter games. Not that it makes them bad, but it's kind of like playing old Zelda games. After playing, I don't know, not Breath of the Wild specifically, because they're kind of very different, but going back to old Zelda games where they have the Zelda jank, or I like to call it the Zelda BS, where a lot of it is just, sometimes there's a puzzle where you spend an hour or two trying to figure it out, and then when you do, you don't feel like satisfied, you just feel annoyed because it didn't take any level of, oh, I discovered this. It's just like, oh, you could have told me that a while ago. Anyway, going on a tangent, I flipped through a few pages. Just a lot of very beautiful art. I don't recognize this. I don't know what that's from. Like, obviously it's from World, but I don't know. I don't remember like seeing this in the game. I could just be blanking. It has been a while, like a year or so, since I was like really into playing World. Probably same with Rise too. I completed Rise, like I did obviously all the like the main story stuff, but I did almost every single high rank mission in the what's it called? The online area. I believe I did like pretty much all of it. And I started to get into the master rank missions, and then I kind of like fell out of it. So it's been a bit since I've played much of any Monster Hunter, but I also don't recognize this thing. These must be just like wildlife throughout that I usually run past. Right here we have beautiful illustration of the camp. The art in this really is just insane. It's so good. I wish I could, again, read it. Because I can't. I have a feeling most of these are the same illustrator because they're all like a very similar style. But I'd love to like find more of their stuff and see what they've worked on. Here we have just like little camp things, spots from the camp in the game. Here's the it's the bird up one. He carries around pots and stuff, and usually a rock. And this was one of not my favorite, but one of the monster designs I liked most from World. I have like the same issues with World that everyone does in terms of like the variety of monsters and the designs and the weapons and stuff. It's very kind of samey. I think Rise improved on one of those things. I think they still have too many wyverns in that game and not enough variety and like bug monsters, and I know they eventually added like the crab and stuff. This is an insane illustration. Jeez. Yeah, that's awesome. Anyway, I forget what I was saying. I was so distracted by the fishing illustration because that looks insane. We have like, I believe these are wild palicos. I like their design a lot. Oh, hell yeah. This is the chef palico, and it looks like they're cooking a fish. Um, Sadly, whenever I see this specific like chef Palico, I think about the movie because he's one of the only like faithful adaptations from that movie in terms of like um, things they accurately portrayed. Yeah, I have thoughts on that movie. I would say it's a guilty pleasure, but like I don't enjoy watching it at all. Like once every few years, maybe. I've seen it like twice, so I'll like occasionally get in a mood where I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that, and then I'll go and watch it. And I usually never end up being happy that I did. But you know, oh well, we got that Netflix show, which was also very short, but it was very good, especially compared to the movie. Here we have more wildlife. Oh, another insane illustration. I can forget this guy's name. I'm blanking. This is another one that was carried over into Rise. There's a lot of overlap with like monsters from Rise and World, sadly. I've successfully avoided pretty much any and all spoilers for Monster Hunter Wilds. So I don't know what the monsters are gonna look like in that. I've seen like one or two new ones, but I don't know what is returning or what they're leaving out. I've kind of done that intentionally. I just want to go in like very surprised. Here we have a hunter with a cart being pulled by some palicos. And I believe coming up on this purple section, I'm going to take a little break and maybe continue this book in another video. Here we have the chief. Again, more of the side characters from the game. I personally never play Monster Hunter for the story. I usually don't care, because to be honest, none of them are usually very good in my opinion. I always tend to go for just the gameplay and ignore most of the story stuff. Excuse me, sorry. It's very late. Again, we have areas from the New Worlds, the little hub area, different NPCs, different side characters, and sadly, I will have to end it here with the Anjanath about to fight Rathalos. Debatably the best art that we've seen so far, the most exciting. But I would love to continue this in another video, but I have to edit this, and I've never edited an ASMR video, so I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to try and get this out and see how that goes, and I would love to come back to this and finish off this book. I'd also love to go through every other book that I have, because I have a lot of art books, and I love looking through them. I think it's very calming. It's very fun, and I'll finally be able to share my art book hobby with all of you. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.